بهذا الموضوع. مثلا الحرب في السودان وقف تماما تصدير بترولنا عبر السودان، ولكن فقامة النائب الأول هذا موضوع يحتاج حل صريح، لأنه إذا فقدنا خدمة مدنية الآن ما في زول في ولايات راغبة في إنه ممكن يكون شغال مع حكومة بسبب بسيط، لأنه الحكومة ما بيصرف، فما في زول لقدام الحكومة ما بيلقى عمال هيشتغل معاهم. كذلك فقامة النائب الأول موضوع المرتبات ده موضوع عندها صفة قانونية أيضا، لأن الموظف أو العامل بيعمل كونتراكت مع حكومة، ده أصلا عندهم كونتراكت على شغل، إنه أنا هشتغل للدولة هشتغل لحكومة، وحكومة نهاية الشهر هيديني مقابل. دي ما موجود، دي هيساعد في انتشار الفساد سيد النائب الأول، لأنه الزول الشغال ده قاعد في مكتب لو ما بيصرف قروش كيف ما يفسد؟ هيكون فاسد، لأنه ما عنده مقابل الكلمة بتاعه، هيبحث عن البدائل. ده زاد في نسبة الجريمة في الولايات، إنه الموظفين بتاع الحكومة ما بيصرفوا، فببحث في بدائل أخرى حتى لو بقى بدائل غير مشروع، إنه كيف يعيشوا مع أبنائهم في بيوتهم. فلذلك دي مسألة يعني مهمة، وأضيف صوتي لزميلي رينج إنه محتاج حل سريع وتدخل سريع من الحكومة الاتحادية، تمثل في شخصكم وفي شخص فخامة رئيس الجمهورية ونواب الرئيس ومجلس الوزراء. موضوع آخر موضوع بتاع PIT Your Excellency، هنا كوكب ولايات PIT ده لو شالوا مننا عنين هنقفل الولايات، لأنه أنت ما هتكون عندك قدرة في محاولة إنك ترسل بوليس ساكت لمهيل، ما هتكون عندك قدرة عشان تشيل قوة مثلا يعني جماعة من الجيش ترسلهم مهيل فيه مشكلة، لأن كل الوداد ده نفس المشاكل. فلذلك أنا لما تم تعييني في يوم 29 شهر 5 مشيت ولاية، الكلام عن الجلسات بتاع مجلس الوزراء، الكلام عن المجلس التشريعي في الولاية، الكلام عن الاجتماعات بتاع اللجان الأمنية في الولاية، في كان صعوبة حقيقية سيد النائب الأول. مثال زي ولاية الجنجلة، أول ما جيت لقيت المجلس كله أعضاء المجلس التشريعي كلهم في جوبا. الحمد لله إننا إشارة بيجيبك ساعتين بتقعد في جوبا. التقيت برئيس المجلس سألته قال لي يا أخي الناس دي عندهم 7 شهور ما عندهم الهيمولومنت بتاع ما بيجيب لهم، فكيف هيواصلوا؟ هم بيجي بس عشان يعني برا بانفسهم يجي يقعدوا، لكن انا ما بقدر زول بمشي جوبا بقول لي ما اشتري شغل لاولادي من زول قريبين هناك ممكن القى لي قروش. كذلك المجلس الوزراء، كيف تكون انت وزير وانت تقعد 7 شهور ما تصرف، وعندك اولاد وعندك التزامات يعني اسري بتتعلق باسرتك. فقامة النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه هذا موضوع خلى الحكومه تكون ما عنده هيبه في الولايات، عشان تقول انا وزير في ولايه ناس بيشوفوك يا كده كلام يا كده زي زول قال انا زول بتاع كوره بس في الليله، لانه عارفين انك انت ما ممكن تجيب له زول شاي. لذلك قررنا في ولايه جنجله لما جينا انه PIT ده قعدنا نلقاه من المنظمات البسيط ده نسير منه دولاب العمل في الحكومه في الولايه. خصصنا حافز له لمجلس الوزراء، خصصنا الحافز للمجلس التشريعي، خصصنا حافز كذلك للمفوضيات والأعضاء المفوضيات. لذلك في خلال 6 شهور وصل ل 17 اجتماع مجلس الوزراء و6 اجتماع لجنة الأمن، لأنه بقى في استقرار نسبي بالنسبة للناس في الولاية. بيجي البي اي تي بدي زول الحافز بتاعه بيقدر يوفر الأجار البسيط لأسرته. فلو بقى ما في مثلا معناه والمجلس الوزراء تاني ما هيشتغل، مجلس التشريع ما هيشتغل، هيكون والي قاعد هناك براه. لذلك في ضروره انه لو الوضع الاقتصادي ما مستقر ما مفروض كل الحكومه الاتحاديه تفكر في هذا الموضوع. فده ممكن تتعلق بهذا الموضوع. كلاما في كلام عن في ارباط زميلي قالوا انه من روين او قبل كلام ده انا داير داخل الموضوع الثاني. فقامة النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه سمينا تقريرين في واراب وروين. واراب سكانه 2 مليون حسب التقرير القدم. روين سكانه 300. روين عنده 8 مقاطعات وواراب عنده 7 مقاطعات 6. ده يعطوا ميار. طيب كيف تقدم خدمات للناس ديل؟ انه تساوي زول عنده 2 مليون عنده 6 مقاطع وتديه خدمات بتاع محافظين بتاع 6 محافظين، وتدي زول عنده 8 وعنده 300 خدمات بتاع 8 محافظين. ده يحتاج مراجعه. انا لكن ما كنت اعرف انه هل التسعة 8 مقاطعات ده من ضمن ال 79 ام لا؟ لانه توزيع الخدمات بتوقف يعني بيعملوا حسب الناس. انت توزع خدمات الاساس للناس حسب حجمهم وعددهم. فكيف تدي الناس بسيط مثلا؟ لانه مثلا انت الاداري مثلا في هذا المستوى في مثلا في داريه البيبور في 2 كونتي معناها يكون عنده 2 مقاطع، لكن في بيبور بالنسبه لي يعني مفهوم لانها هتنتهي مع القضيه ده تعددها على اتفاقيه السلام مثلا. ده موضوع برضه محتاج حل. وانا شايف انه في
روين فوق 2 كاونتي رسميا.
رسميا.
Yes, in the 79 counties too.
اوكي. انا قبل في تقرير قالوا 8.
ده تقرير بتاعهم.
alright. اوكي. طيب الموضوع قبل الاخير فقامة النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه. انت لو لاحظت تقارير القدم من كل الولاء ده عباره عن زيارات. يعني دول بيقولوا انا زرنا كده ده اشيمن. فما ممكن الانجازات ما بكون زياره، لان الوالي من باب السميم بتاع ادارته انه يزور مناطق بتاعه. لانه انا لو والي لجنجولة لازم ازور مناطقي. فده ممكن يكون بس في اطار بتاع نشرة السلام، لكن في سبب من الناس كله ليه بيقولوا كده. فيه سببين. الاولى انه بتكون قاعد في ولايه ما عندك اكسس لمهلات بعيده. ده برجع للطرق، ما في طريق. لانه لو ولايتك مربوطه يعني الزياره عشان انت مشيت لمنطقه ما بيبقى انجاز، بيبقى في اطار عملك الرسمي كوالي لولايه معين. وذكر قبل في بعض التقارير انه في جزء من المقاطعات ممكن ما زاروا قبل في ولايه ويدا، فنجار ممكن ما زاروا قبل الاستقلال. ده برضه مشكله كبيره جدا بيواجه الحكام. النقطه الثانيه في هذا الموضوع فقامة النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه اللي هي تكاليف. انك انت يعني يتم تعيينك الليله بعد 6 شهور انت بتكون برا مثلا، فالبيت ذاته بيكون جديد بيبدا تاني داير يعمل زيارات تاني يكملها تاني 6 شهور زياره. يعني تاني يكرر لما نيجي يشيلوا برا بيكون كل الاثنين ولا 3 كانوا بس في زيارات. فدائما الاستقرار في الموقع الوظيفي بيساعد في تخطيط وتنفيذ مشاريع المخطط من قبل الحكومة المعنية. هذا بيساهم في الفساد also. لأنه كل زول لو أنت بس بتشوف تلفزيون ممكن أشيلني بعدين، معناه أنت زادك ما حتكون يعني ما بكون عندك الاستقرار النسبي، وده ممكن يتحل في إطار بتاعت الانتخابات القادم، عشان كل زول يلقى يعني ولايته. مثلا الدستور يتكلم عن 5 سنوات، إذا كان دوالي في 5 سنوات تستمر. ده ممكن يكون ده الطريقة الوحيدة اللي أنا شايفه ممكن نخلي زول يعني يفرح انك انت تشرح في خطتك بالصوره التي يمكن ان تخدم به منطقتك او ولايه بتاعك. الموضوع في نفس الموضوع الناس اللي بيطولوا برضه في الحكام. بعض الحكام بيقعدوا سنين طويله، مش عشان هم دايرينه، لكن برضه بطرق اخر بيجعلوا ان يثبت نفسه في السلطه، برضه فيه تاثير سلبي. يعني زول مثلا قاعد 10 سنه ولا 15 سنه في نفس المكان، فوجوده برضه في هذا المواقع ما بيكون عشان في رؤيه محدده عايز يقدمه، ولكن ممكن يقعد نتيجه لانه هو قادر يدير هذا المرحله بالطريقه التي هم يجعلها ان يبقى في هذا المكان الى فتره طويله. ده القضايا انا بشوفهم، ده القضايا يحتاج حل، وخاصه لما يكون في انتخابات عشان الناس يكون في تايم ليميت لكل مكتب. لذلك نحن نتمنى ان ربنا يوصل الناس لمرحله الانتخابات القادم وكل الناس ينافسوا ويفوز الزول الفايز. وشاكر على اتخاذ الفرصه، والسلام عليكم.
Yes. First Deputy Speaker, National Assembly. Yes, you can come this way.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the First Vice President, the Vice President of the Republic, Right Honorable Speaker, Council of States, Ministers, Excellencies, Governors, all the state delegates to this forum. I would like to applaud the discussion, especially the presentation that came from the governors. I'm going to make my contribution or my input from the background of my institution, the National Assembly. Our role, as you know, are basically 3: to represent the citizen of the Republic of South Sudan, to enact laws that supports government functions and actions, and to oversee the executive. These are our functions at the national level. And on this note, Your Excellencies, the government at the state levels, just like at the national level, having 3 pillars. The government at the state levels, we expect them also to function with the 3 pillars. The executive, the assembly, which is the legislature at that level, and the judiciary. From the presentation, I've noticed we seem to have incomplete structures in most of the states. the overarching pillar of government appears to be the executive, where the governor is the head. Of course, we have the speakers of the assemblies, but their functions or the function of that institution has not featured vividly in the presentation. There is a general admission that the judiciary is almost non-existent at the state, exemplified by the lack of judges as featured in the presentation very clearly. That means the arm of government, which is the judiciary at the state level, is dysfunctional. We could be using traditional mechanisms to resolve conflict or adjudicate on matters. As we know, traditional authorities, they are preoccupied to the use of customary laws. What about criminal laws? Who implements them? For instance, crimes committed by individuals. You have also made in your presentations that your cells, your detention centers are full. The judges are not there to try them. Others have murdered. They have been stolen, and so on, or raped, and so on. So this is a very serious gap and loopholes from the presentation that I've seen. I would like to speak about the lack of salaries. Every year, Your Excellencies, we pass the national budget with all the chapters. I would like to draw your attention to the 2023-2024 budget. And I would like to highlight to Your Excellencies that the 2023-2024 budget did not fail. You will be surprised why I'm saying so. From the data we have and the data presented to us by the Ministry of Finance and by the relevant institutions, including the National Revenue Authority, including the Ministry of Petroleum, charged with the production of petroleum resources, accruing petroleum revenue, and the National Revenue Authority charged with the collections of non-oil revenue. These institutions, according to the budget 2023-2024, they did their best. The budget which was passed, which was 1.7 trillion SSP, realized an outturn of 2.1 trillion. This is the fact of the data that was presented to us in the National Assembly, presented to us in the quarterly reports. Now the question that comes, where is salary? If there was an outturn of 2.1 trillion. If I go to break down what accrued from the oil revenue, it was projected that from the oil revenue in that year, we shall receive 1.5 trillion. But the outturn became 1.8 trillion. That means there was a surplus of over 358 billion. The non-oil revenue, the projection which was 245 billion, the outturn was 238 billion, meaning the collection did not achieve its target. From 245, which was projected, we realized 238 billion. This was the performance of the revenue, how it was collected under the oil revenue and the non-oil revenue. We were also informed in the budget that actually some of the states overspent their budget. I'm happy that the Minister of Finance may join us tomorrow. You will ask and inquire for clarification. What we were informed in the budget was that we had at least 21 government ministries and institutions overspending beyond their approved budget of 2023-2024. And the Ministry of Finance was on top of the culprits. The Ministry of Finance overspent its budget by 3,860%. That was the over expenditure in the Ministry of Finance. And at least 7 states and 3 administrative areas, we only have 3 of them, 3 administrative areas and 7 states overspend beyond their approved budget. At least 9 government ministries and institutions spend within their approved budget. At least 34 government ministries and institutions were deprived of resources, thus underspend their budget. At least 3 states spend within their approved budget. This is the data that you need to know, which was presented to the National Assembly, actually to the National Legislature during the budget discussion. Now, if there was an outturn in the 2023-2024 budget to the tune of 2.1 trillion, where is the salary? The answer we found was that the over expenditures by some ministries and government institutions is to blame. What was due for salaries went in the over expenditures. And the Ministry of Finance is on top of that. That means there are those institutions, even knowing that they have already exhausted their budget, they will still go to bother the Ministry of Finance. Either they go there directly, or they go there by other routes. lobbies, bluffs, threats. You know that ministry, the ministers, as you know also, they don't take long. And also to some extent, from what is being talked about, the ministers cannot take long. And they also say it is not the president who removes them. It is not the president who removes them. It is us. Those who remove these ministers, they are among us. The president he has only signatures. But those who are behind the removal of these ministers, the minister of finance, are actually among the politicians, among the government, ministers also. There are men in uniform and so on. They influence these people to be removed, especially if they want to stick, probably to budget discipline. They are not given any chance to do so. They are victims, actually. I want to speak on their behalf to that effect. So, how do we tackle this? The answers are all with us. I've now spilled the problem. Let us not blame the budget, no money, and there is money, because in the last year budget, there was money and there was an outer. Now we have passed another budget with ambitious programs and plans that it will also succeed. But should it fail, it would fail because of what I'm talking about. So, Your Excellencies, I'm happy that this forum sits on our population. Our population are with you. Those who come to Juba, they are politicians, businessmen, and so on. But the real population of South Sudan, they're in the countryside. And you are the one who sits on them. So your recommendation must help us, even within your parties. This thing, Yajama, Aljan Mabaruf, Zol. All of us can be hungry or can be satisfied. If we want solution, within your party, you speak. Within SOA, you speak. Within which party, SPLM, you speak. So that we can fix the problem once and for all. Nobody should be allowed to play with the public funds within our parties and within the government. This one must be very clear. Anybody playing with the public funds must be held accountable, because I'm sure none of our manifestos have prescribed that you shall be corrupt. You shall take what belongs to the public and do whatever you want with it. None of our manifestos talk about this. So if it is true, then we must begin serious business so that our budget can succeed. That is to answer the question of where is salaries, why is not being paid, and so on. We have enough money. Even the president has said so. The ministers of finance, when they come with the records, they will also tell us the same. Petroleum tell us the same. Petroleum that was affected was the Dar blend. The Nile blend was functional, has been functioning up to date, functioning. The only threat we have is the floods. The floods which is threatening it. Though, of course, we have to manage our relations with our brothers in the north so that these facilities are not disturbed. And we also anticipate that there will be resumption, which will at least boost the resource envelope. This is on the aspect of the economy and the national budget. Taban, you get 10%. You complain that you get 10%. Your Excellencies, the system of government is decentralized. You read your schedules, Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C, and those powers. But the real keys of the matter is the decentralized system. At the state level, you are at the mercy of the center. You can either be given powers or, depending on the situation. If the situation is good or was good, like when we were doing the CPA, the states at certain point, they had enough powers. Even some states like Eastern Equatoria were paying their civil servants and running their businesses without looking at the national level. But when the situation started deteriorating, the center took what belongs to it, because the state was just enjoying these privileges. I'm happy that there is National Constitutional Review Commission, and in the peace agreement, there is discussion and adoption of the federal system. That is where you resolve this problem. As of now, you cooperate with the center, negotiate with the center. If it is increased to you beyond 10%, humbly lie. If not, also humbly lie. This is what I can say about the 10% being given to the state. About the land policy, I want to say something. It is already in the National Assembly. We are going to discuss it. But what I want to tell you, if you want to answer the question of land grab, especially in towns and cities, including Juba, Juba must be designated with its boundaries, known to everybody. And the management of that land, which is designated as capital city, must be very clear and must be very transparent. But if you leave it in this form, if I may ask, where is the boundary of Juba, capital city? Where is it? Where is the boundary? Okay. But if you leave it like this, Juba will expand. Everybody is going to city. They will come and demand for land. The most important thing, we need the state capitals demarcated, gazetted. Everybody has a right to settle there. The capital city, demarcated, gazetted. Everybody has a right to settle there, provided you acquire the land legally within the law. When they say land belongs to the people, all of us are people. The people of Eastern Equatoria have land. The people of Central Equatoria have land. The people of Unity State have land. Should there be somebody who leaves his territory, his place, to go and occupy another person's place, to grab it even, that is the cause of the problem. And as a government, we must find a way of resolving this. The land policy is there. There will be public hearing. Also, the act will be amended. This is what I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. BA, Deputy Chief Administrator.
Your Excellency, thank you for this opportunity. I will be having 3 points. And the first one, I would like to react to the statement from His Excellency, the Governor of Jonglei State. Of course, I don't understand Arabic very well, but I think I got something. When he was referring to the endorsement of Abyei community referendum now is not ideal because Sudan is at war.
Why don't you listen first to the rest?
All right,
rather than
okay.
listening to one person and you want to react to it.
Okay, then that's fine. I will wait if there are more comments that come to
We'll give you a
Abyei
chance on that later.
Thank you.
Yeah. Warab, the governor, this Upper Nile, sorry.
شكرا سيد نائب الأول رئيس الجمهورية. أنا في كلام بتاع زول بتاع روبين هو قبل يتكلم عن ونكو لكن بسموه ويتبنيكان. أنا داير أذكر إنه لما نجي في ميلاد زي ده أجاد المربوط بالحدود لازم نقيفه منه لأنه ده بزيد المرارات. لأنه ده بسمي ويتبنيكو وناس على النيل بسمي ويتبنيكان. ده بيجيب نزاع بين الناس. عشان كده نحن قلنا يا متى احنا أجاد ديل نخلوه لترسيم الحدود. لأن ما ترسيم الحدود يجي لو عاد بتاعه بعد تجي تتكلم فوقه. لو بتاع على النيل بعدين على النيل يسموه ويتبنيكان زي ما هم مسمينه. فأنا قاعد أسمع كلام ده كتير في كل منابر وأنا داير إنه دور الجاي خلوا كلام ده لترسيم الحدود. كلام العربات الجبال هو بيتكلم فوقه هو ما كان عينه رئيس بتاع إدارية زول اللي كان قبله كان بضرب لنا تليفونات وكان بيتكلم معنا وعندنا اتفاق معين وصلنا فوقه بكلام العربات. حاكم بتاع جنجولة ما هي المام بالأصل في وجه بنيكان أو ما يسموه وجه بنكو من عنده قبل. أنا داير أذكرك حتى ده كان أصل مشاكل ومشكلة ما بهلوا بالمشكلة. نازل وصلوا بها رئيس الإدارية سابقا للنائب الأول وناس في بروسيس بتاع الحل. فما مفروض جاجات زي ديل يجي يتكلموا في منابر زي ده. هنا نشوف له وقت ونجي نقعد ونهله كيف وننتهي منه كيف. وشكرا جزيلا.
شكرا نائب رئيس الأول. أنا في تشيك بوينتس كان في governors forum الفاتت كان ريزولف إنه تشيك بوينت ده يشيلوا برا. تم تنفيذه في بعض الولايات وإداريات لكن في بعض الولايات ما تم تنفيذ بتوع فوق. عملية ده ما بكون إنه governors برام نائب الأول. Chief of Defense Forces اللي هو SSPDF Inspector General of Police اللي هو National Police Forces Director General بتاع Internal Security Bureau and Chief Military Intelligence because checkpoint deals are being managed by جماعة ديل برا من مسؤولية بتاع governors county commissioners. أنا بسافر بعربية يمكن أنا سافرت منيني جوبا حتى أرويو تشيك بوينت موجودين في سنترال إكواتوريا تشيك بوينت موجودين في وراب ستيت تشيك بوينت موجودين في وسترن بارغزال وفي نورثرن بارغزال. كان دير نشيل أجاد ديل خلينا الجيش برضه يكونوا موجودين because checkpoint ببدأ بمكاتب من جوبا هنا في ترانسبورت كومباني بدفعوا قروش لرواد كبار ده ويشيلوا كونبوي عساكر وبدفعوا برضه في كل تشيك بوينت لما بمشي فوق. في تشيك بوينت في ولايتين ولا في 3 ولايات اللي هو وراب وسن بارغزال نورثرن بارغزال لو في ناس بيكتم فوقه ده الناس بتاع ليك ستيت because معظم تجار بتاعنا ده بتاع بقر بمشي بيجيبوا بقر من أول بمشي بيجيب بقر من بنتين بمرور بشيك بوينتس دول كله بدفع قروش حتى جوبا هنا live example في وراب يمكن ده إضافة لعديلة قبيل نائب رئيس تعبان قدموا لقبنا بتاع وراب عندنا تشيك بوينت في مقاج كرتيب عندنا تشيك بوينت في كوبري بتاع تون عندنا تشيك بوينت في الويلا كوك بتلو ماشي واو بتلو ماشي لرومي في تشيك بوينت في رومي في تشيك بوينت في نابغوك في تشيك بوينت في وليد في تشيك بوينت في ثيت في تشيك بوينت في مبوريار في تشيك بوينت في ملوالموك في تشيك بوينت في روريكول لاكول وفي ريجستريشن فيس لبقر بقر واحد في تشيك بوينت كله بريجستريشن فيس بتاع باس بيرميت بتاع اوكشن. This is terrible. فالزملاء governors أنا بقول أوكي كان ده يوم مسألة then territory بتاعي ما ممر برضو ممكن نعمل ربان because أطول مالته تمر فوق ده territory بتاع لكس والناس بمشي فري فده دير حال نائب رئيس طبعا it is a result وما بنفسه كان ده governors يوم مخالفين نان ياو ديني هل ممكن نكالب نائب الأول طبعا ما ممكن كان ده security sector بقاطع بتوم هل ممكن كمان خالف كمان نشيب طبعا ما ممكن فعملية ده دار جدية. أنا برجع للسيلريز طبعا بكليريفيكيشن بتاع first speaker first deputy speaker بتاع national assembly تقارير ده بيجي من هناك أنا ما بتكلم فوقه عمل over spending I doubt عندنا salary بتاع شهر 11 كم سايز ستيت واثنين إداريات 7 صرفوا لكن إن 5 ستيت اللي هو Central Equatorial State Lake State Abia Administrative Area Northern Barghazal Jungle State ما صرف مرتبات شهر 11 بتاع السنة الفات كمرد نائب الأول نانو لافين بيشيك من يوم 28 شهر 11 حتى يوم الليلة 29 شهر 11 سوري من يوم 29 شهر 10 حتى يوم 28 شهر 11 نانا لافين بيشيك بتاع كريدت ادفايس بين وزارة مالية وبين أبسا السودان ليه باقي ولايات اللي قروج وين وزمنا شنو شكرا جزيلا.
Well, the salaries, the first deputy speaker was quoting documentation from the Ministry of Finance, where he said 7 states plus 2, 3 administrative areas had overspent. I think that can be provided, the names, because this is what the Ministry of Finance provided to the Minister of Finance provided to the National Legislature. And it is good because some of you have discussed the budgets or mentioned their budgets. Maybe 3 or 4 of the states have mentioned that they have done their current budgets, and also mentioned that in 2023 budget, 2023, 2024 budgets were implemented. We don't know whether they overspent or they had a deficit budget. So such documentation can be provided to you, because if you overspend your budget, it means you would also be paying, you would have paid salaries in it. Like what he said, if we have an outturn of 2.1 and the budget that was passed then was 1.7 trillion, and you get 2.1 outturn, it means you have collected more money, and there can be no reason why salaries have not been paid. But then he says, in the Ministry of Finance itself overspent 3,000 times percent, 3,600%. But whose budget is that? Is that of ministries? Why would it overspend when it has no projects to implement by itself as Minister of Finance? Because it is a treasury, you see. So these are serious issues. You should begin to ask, can we see what was presented by the Minister of Finance documents, so that you see whether you are among the states that have overspent, and you ask yourself then, if I overspent, why did I not pay salaries for my state? Now you are talking of PIT, that PIT is being withdrawn from you. I think the circular was 2 months ago, the circular that PIT would be collected by National Revenue Authority 2 months ago. But you had been collecting the PIT. Was it not possible for you to pay your officials their salaries using the PIT? Or is it so small that you cannot pay? Secondly, when we talk of three, that the state has, the government has 3 pillars. You in the state, you have the executive, headed by the governor. You have the legislature, headed by the speaker. You may have a judiciary which is not independent. It is a national judiciary. It is with you there. But many of the states say that you don't have judges. But the state, in the constitution, the amended constitution, you have schedules. Schedule B is what you can legislate on, and also levy taxes. When you have legislation and you levy taxes, it means you will collect those taxes to run your state. Is this being done, or this is not being done? You are reliant on the block grant that comes from the national government to run the state. The block grant is a token. In the old Sudan, the states used to be told, generate your own revenue and get out of the support of the national government. And I think before the independence, Central Equatoria was nearly getting out of the support of the national government, even when we were in Khartoum, you know. But now our focus is that we must rely on the central government to support the state when we are running a decentralized government with the schedules that you can legislate on and levy taxes. In any case, the minister will join us tomorrow.
Your Excellency, the First Vice President, ministers, governors, all the attendees of the conference. I want to talk here to face you because I want to raise. I thought the diplomatic corps were around and UN agencies, but I'm not seeing many of them because I want to talk about ABA.
Then you can wait for tomorrow.
For tomorrow?
Yes.
On
that topic.
On that topic?
Yes.
I'll repeat myself tomorrow because some of you can go and digest them, what I've said. Then you can also raise them tomorrow. But before I go to ABA, I want this governors forum to focus on few resolutions that we must implement before the next forum. Few of them, we have to select few of them. And what I have selected one is the complete stoppage of roadblocks and illegal checkpoints on roads and on river. This is a task that we must do. I said yesterday, any governor or any government of a state is entitled to collect revenue in the state markets. You can impose any taxes in your market, but not on highway. Highway are public roads. The meaning of public is that they are constructed by public money. They belong to everybody. They don't belong to one state as ring said. This is the task number one that we must put into ourselves. Number two that we must implement is the moving back of cattle from central Equatoria to their home states. And also we must solve the issue of land grabbing in Juba. This is task number two that we must implement coming this year. I want also that we must give ourselves target of roads. Of course, the governor of Upper Nile, though they don't have road, but they are the luckiest. I think they will be the luckiest state now because of this road that we are going to build from Ethiopia to Malakal. Because their road is a sure road because the funds are there. Unlike the roads in Equatoria, the roads in Bargazal, the roads in Unity State that have been relying on oil revenue. Because by the way, we may not resume the oil soon. Let me alert the first deputy speaker of the National Assembly. I don't see the resumption of the Western pipeline soon because there are hurdles. Also, we are lucky, maybe also because the people of Sudan feel that we are part of them. Actually, a problem was about to happen in Hijlich. War was approaching on Hijlich. But those who are coming to Hijlich, they have decided to stop, not to advance on Hijlich. Because they know if they go to Hijlich, the oil field is going to be damaged, and this is going to affect South Sudan more. So that is a blessing. Even maybe the first vice president is not aware. But I got this information this morning. I even relayed this information to the people of oil industry. So now I want us also to select some few roads. And one thing also, we may be lucky because there's there's a project that was supposed to go to the Council of Ministers tomorrow, or even the last Friday. But we failed to meet in the Council of Ministers because of the Governors Forum. We may not meet in Council of Ministers tomorrow. This project, which is supposed to go to Council of Ministers, is about the road of Juba, Yei, Kaya, and the Rad, Kapoita, together with a refinery in Tarjas.
There's a third one.
Yeah.
There's a third road also.
No, the third road is the one of Yei. I think
Yeah, Mundri.
Yei Maridi,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, another area there.
Yeah, Torah.
Actually, it is the financer was coming for the road of Rat, Buma Kapoita, and Yei Maridi. I think there's a place there. But we told them, look, you cannot bypass Juba Yei. The priority to us, because we know also the money that is meant for those roads are enough also to do the road from Juba to Kaya and also Yei to that road. If that one happened, and we think they are serious, the investor is very serious, then these people will be lucky. So if that road happened, and then we remain to struggle with the road to Bargazal and the road to Western Equatoria, with the little oil money that will come, they can share with the issue for salaries and roads. Because roads also, they are very important. You can see my Juba saying, he's driving 2 hours to Juba. By the way, Mudir Bita Maktabatai, one of the press people in my office, is from Bor. Last week he went to Bor. When he came back, he reported to me a very interesting thing. He said, to his surprise, that he got the people of Bor now are getting richer. Girl, almost everybody in Bor has into Gurush. I think that's true, yeah, Governor. Yes, you are getting richer because of road. Looks in economy, if you want to invest, you want to eat more tomorrow, eat less today. Matakul hajatakulu lele da. Aishani kunda gaja katir takulu bukra. Taba nene junubi nasa minded. We want to, we have been eating how many money? Since 2005 up to when we start this small work of the roads. So I want us to be aware of that. As to unity actually, we shall pressure the oil companies, social corporate. They can do also even some Maram roads. They can do them. There used to be roads in Unity State. Those roads were built by the government of the state with support. Maybe we have financed some of the road 30%, 40%. The bulk of the funding come from the oil companies. They should do the same for Unity and Ruwen. So, Your Excellency, these are my proposals that we concentrate. We select very few resolutions. Of course, we shall have a long list of resolutions. But there are things that we must struggle, all of us, to do. Of course, we are lucky that we are working with the World Bank for the road of Kenya to Nadapal to Juba to Kapoita to Juba to Torit. But the Ajata World Bank, the international big institution like World Bank, always they take time. In them a lot of bureaucratic process. But once you finish, they move faster. Now let me come to ABA. Let me not sleep before I talk issues of ABA. Your Excellency, we have a very big problem in ABA. The vacuum now is very clear, and South Sudanese must know this. The people of Ngok are South Sudanese. We cannot allow them to suffer the way they are suffering. Right now, there's no government in Khartoum. Mafia hakum in Khartoum. And they are left that way. Sometimes, because some of us who are aware of the suffering of people of ABA, we encourage ambassadors from Juba to visit ABA, UN agencies to visit ABA. Many of them are scared. They think, no, look, Abiy is not our doctor. It's not Juba. It's not us in Juba. It's supposed to be handled by a European ambassador or American ambassador, Italian ambassador, French ambassador, Norwegian ambassador in Sudan. Can they have time of listening to, of checking on the suffering of people of Abiy? It's not priority to them. These people are suffering. They got no school. Shubiba need Matar is more the Atoinda, is big airport. Is blocked by Khartoum not to be operated. Tairata you and Mabem Shifogu. Ma Tairata to Jarbem Shifogu. Can we keep quiet about this? And I'm also recommending this forum that we should also have a specific proposal on Abiy, recommendation on Abiy. That should be followed by the people of South Sudan and the government of South Sudan. I thought we were going to talk about this because the Musuli of Taburman to pressure also to talk about the plight of the people, the suffering of the people of Abiy, the suffering of the people of South Sudan. I don't agree with Comrade Maju, but he's right. So number one, that I want to come up with the recommendation of Abiy, what they have talked about, provision of humanitarian assistance from Juba. And we should ask Nicholas Haysom to visit Abiy from time to time. Nicholas Haysom with his team in Juba, they should be visiting Abiy from time to time to see the suffering of the people there. This is number one. Humanitarian assistance to be increased from Juba to Abiy, and UN agencies in Juba should also be visiting Abiy from time to time because there's no government in Khartoum. There's a vacuum. Why do you allow these people to suffer that way? I'm asking this forum to recommend to the government, to the Council of Ministers, that we urge the UN Security Council to appoint a head of unit of mission in Abiy. There was supposed to be a UN mission head of in Abiy, but this one were blocked by Khartoum. Nobody is there now. UN Security Council should appoint. The government of South Sudan should ask, and it is this forum to recommend to the Council of Ministers so that we discuss in the Council of Ministers, so that UN is alert official. This forum should ask for the opening of the airport of Atoin. Airport of Atoin should be accessed by UN agencies, by Tujar, and by us. Of course, peace conference between Ngok Dinka and Twitch is very important, and also their neighbors. We should encourage also their peace conference. Now, let me come to what I think is very easy. It's not a difficult thing. The total, of course, we are for the total settlement of the people of this total solution of the problem of Abiy. But also we must pressure. You must pressure so that you have a total settlement. We can also give an ultimatum to UN that into Kumpor comes and says you have been keeping quiet about the settlement of total settlement of Abiy. We are going to recognize. We are going to recognize the community referendum of Abiy in the absence of the total settlement of the problem of Abiy. We can discuss this with them. Let them give us a solution, total solution. In absence of total solution, we are going to recognize the community referendum of Abiy. My last recommendation of Abiy, which is very important, let us cement. You know now, the Misiri now are in harmony with Ngok. There's no problem now. And Misiri are discussing with us, look, all the crises that we have been creating in those areas is Khartoum has been pushing us to do such problems. أول حاجة Misiri, they have no problem in Abyei. I think they took 1/3 of Abyei area during the arbitration. They went away with 1/3 of the land of Abyei. We are not backtracking from that. We agree with that. We're not going to backtrack on what they have taken. So now, Your Excellency, the first Vice President, we need also to help the area of Abyei to develop a smooth relation with the people of Misiria and Rijegat. I thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. The Speaker.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the chance. I'm not going to talk much, only I just want to respond to Chief Administrator of Rural Administrative Area regarding the problem of CDC that he appointed, and then they were blocked or rejected by the Council of State. In fact, the members or the CDC's members which were appointed by His Excellency, the Chief Administrator, were not rejected, but the Chief Administrator has rushed when he was appointed. He rushed to form or dissolve the existing CDC committees, which he was not supposed to do that way, because we, as the Council of State, since 2023, we have been struggling with the CDC Committee of Rural Administrative Area, in which we wrote to the Central Bank and also to the Minister of Finance to close or suspend the accounts of 3% of the ruling administrative area, with the reasons. First of all, the CDC members which were there previously before Honorable or His Excellency Tiop Mailwak were appointed out of Petroleum Management Act, because there are categories that are being followed. But it was not by him, it was by previous Chief Administrator. And the problem, most of them were competing. They were competing, especially the members. They were competing. Everyone wants to be a member of CDC because there is a good salaries there. They are paying themselves $3,000 for a member, in which most of the people were trying also to apply to be a members of that CDC. When we blocked, we sent for the suspension of the account. The same members went to the court, and I think they bribed one of the judges who go and withdraw money from the account of the ruling administrative area without the knowledge of even the chief administrator. By then, Charlo, they withdraw $100,000. And now from there, we requested the explanation from the Minister of Finance and also from the Governor of Central Bank to explain why he allowed the money to be withdrawn before the formation of the CDC committees. The main problems that which I can also tell to Honorable or to His Excellency, Chobon Luak, CDC committee are not part of your cabinet because when you are appointed, you only form the cabinet, but the CDC is a community that is responsible under the county commissioners, and that there are categories that are supposed to be followed. Mabas tayin checks albijibu enak shanikun member. Few women, few youth, few chiefs, few church-based or faith-based group. These are categories that are supposed to be included. In the process, the account of Bentiu or Unity State was blocked, was suspended, and it is under formation. Recently, we sent back to go and form the cities committees. He sent us, and now this one is in process. Very soon, that it will be finalized and will be sent to him so that he can go and operate normally. The same, the ruling administrative area was under process, but Honorable Chop, he just decided before he contacted or before he consulted with the Council of State. And this one was in the process. Most of the cities of rural and administrative areas that have been appointed while they are in Juba, they are not in the administrative area. Man gadin fi Juba ina. Wade khalaq al-mashala. For Banmarat, Your Excellency, Mishakil Tarueng, administrative area, women bedakhal local politics. And this one also, we don't want to be involved in those politics. The deputy speaker, the first deputy speaker of the Council of State, come from Ruang administrative area. And sometimes if anything comes from the Council of State, they always accuse her of the one that which is behind this, which is not true. And we should answer. I am the head of that institution. There's nothing that can come or bypass me without me knowing. Nahna قاعدين نتابع القانون والقانون قاعد بهلنا. Comrade Chop was supposed to inquire how far did we reach at the Council of State under the Committee of Finance was on the way. We model the formation. We are also sending a team to go to rural administrative area to go and also and check this process. We don't ask them of how they use the 2%. 2% belong to the government of the state or administrative area, but the 3% belong to the community. But sometimes they interfere with 3%, which is not correct, and we should not allow that as the Council of State. So أنا بدي أقول شنو Comrade Chop يتابع القوانين ويجي في Council of State في Council of State نحن واقفين وين وبعدك the problem of CDC will be resolved. Again, CDC committees into tenure into 3 years. And 3 years at the time that if someone misbehave, but allow according to the recommendation from their communities. They haja mafruit yitabo wisalna so that Nana we can feed him more about that the process that we are doing regarding the CDC account of ruling administrative area. For Nana, we are not against the administration or the administrative area, nor we are not against the leadership of His Excellency Chop Mailwak, but we just want to coordinate so that we work together to put this in order. بطريقة القانوني ما بطريقة الممكن الhonorable Chop عمل به. He's supposed to consult with us so that we can give him a guideline. هو أيام الكيف. شكرا جزيلا.
Can we postpone some of these to tomorrow? It would be good, because I had wanted to talk about the BA. But to talk about the BA, those who know ABA, many of them are not here except maybe the Deputy Chief Administrator. The file of ABA was with me. But then I don't see Deng Alor. I don't see Maulana Deng Arop and all that. So why don't we sleep over this? Tomorrow after the recap, then we can discuss some of these issues. By then, Western Equatoria would have made itself ready. Then we can have a discussion before we move to the other agendas. So let us close, and we'll see you tomorrow. The same system, 8 you come, have your tea. We start exactly on time after your tea. Thank you very much.